1 2
Mic
1.
check 1 2.
Hebu sikiliza.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic 2. Mic check. Mic check 1 2. Mic check. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic. Nipeni kikombe ya Nakuru TV ikiwa na maji. Kago. Nipe kikombe. Nipe kikombe ya Nakuru TV ikiwa na maji. Yenye ina logo.
Iko tu sawa. So what we will do, headroom hapa tunabandika.
Iko, leta tu moja. Agagia towe, nike. Leta. Unajua tunapiga promo hii kampuni yetu.
Acha tuwekange advertisement kwanza.
My name is Engineer Aberotich. I'm a member of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. I pursued a degree in mechanical engineering at the University of Nairobi, where I obtained honors. I later studied Masters in Business Administration at Kenyatta University. In between, I've done various courses, one of which is Senior Advanced Management course at the School of Business at Strathmore University. I'm currently working as a Geothermal Development Director at Kenya Electricity Generating Company. I'm vying for the position of First Vice President at IEK. I believe I'm suitable for this position since I possess a long history of experience on leadership and having served as a former branch chairman of IEK at Mombasa branch. I intend to do a number of things if elected in this position of First Vice President of IEK. The first one is to ensure I pursue mentorship and coaching for our student engineers. And my second agenda is to ensure that we have the engineering institution partner with business people and industrialists in allocating 40% to local content for our people and also 30% for special groups. My third agenda is global visibility. The agenda of Institution of Engineers of Kenya can only be enhanced if we are visible globally. My fourth and last agenda is I would likely pursue structured trainings for our engineers and technologists. This is achievable by ensuring we sign memorandum of understanding, collaboration, and partnership with industrialists, consulting firms, institutions, and various government companies. And I believe if we pursue that way, we can easily achieve 100% trainings for our engineers and promote them into professional engineers. On 23rd of March 2020, I humbly request you, all distinguished engineers, to vote in large numbers. Vote for Engineer Aberotich. Voting for Engineer Aberotich is voting for success. As engineers, we can do more. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special edition by Nakuru TV. I'm your host, Karanja Jackson. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to hit different nations across the world, the government here in Nakuru has decided to issue several measures that they feel will help in addressing the COVID-19 pandemic in our country. Among the measures that the government of the county government of Nakuru rather has trained a total of 300 personnel both clinic and health officials across the county in helping to deal with the virus. It has also set up an isolation ward of around 11 beds to deal with this. It has received 10,000 masks that health officials will use in dealing or in addressing different cases of the coronavirus. Above all, they have also trained a total of 30 journalists up to today in helping them acquire knowledge and also information that they should use in reporting about the virus. Speaking to the press this evening, the county governor of Nakuru, Governor Lee Kinyanjui, has issued a presser with several details that he feels should help the county government of Nakuru help in addressing or dealing with the problem of COVID-19. Among these is that he has urged the residents to avoid crowded places within the county. He has also urged members of the public to limit the number of visits that they do in the health facilities around the county. He has also urged members to remain calm, not to raise panic, and also not to spread fake information in regards to the virus. These fake information include things like the number of cases that have been reported in the county, the other means, like earlier today we learned that there are people that were told that if they took enough levels or enough cups of paraffin or kerosene, and they would guard them down, it will help them in dealing with the virus. All these are information that are not true, and we as Nakuru TV would wish to also express these information that do not listen to what other people are saying. Stay true to the correct forms of information. Listen to the correct mechanisms of the government. Listen, like earlier today, the government, through the spokesman, Cyrus Zuguna, issued a presser and informed of the number of cases around in our country. So we should all try and remain calm during this time and not raise panic. Governor Lee also mentioned that in areas that water supply has been low, the government will ensure that there will be enough water supply, and water tanks and also hand washing points will be placed in different areas within the county. He went ahead to laud different matatu circles that have placed water hand washing sites or hand washing points just next to the matatu services, a move that will go a long way in helping in dealing with the pandemic of COVID-19. He also informed that the results of 2 people who are in quarantine facility have turned out negative. 2 people that have been placed in quarantine have turned out negative. He also went on to inform the public that the 2 people who are referred to our facility from Baringo County were examined and did not meet the case definition of them to be put under quarantine, because there were rumors going around that 2 other cases had been reported in Nakuru, in Baringo County. The governor has went ahead and informed the public that these 2 cases are not affiliated to the pandemic of COVID-19 that has hit our republic. A lot of other things. He has also asked members of the public that are above 65 years old, who are quite susceptible to the disease, to try and avoid crowded areas or crowded social places where the risk of exposure is a bit high. So he also urged members of the public to stay, to keep informing the government. There is a helpline that was been given by the county that members of the public can call at any time of the day or night, and they will seek attention from the different relevant authorities of the government. Um, he also asked members of the public to exercise personal hygiene, cleaning of the hands while moving about during the day. I think, yeah, so that is basically it. I will go back to my producer to hear what he has in store for us.
I just drafted this in the last. You're not edited. So are you ready? It's appropriate to say with the with respect to the COVID-19 and what we are doing as a county. And I think the first thing is to note that we have had 3 cases of suspected COVID-19. And out of the 3, the 2 that we have already received the results have confirmed that they are negative, meaning that they are not suffering from the coronavirus. So 1, we are still awaiting for the results, and as soon as they come, we will make that public. So allow me to continue. We continue to maintain a close surveillance on the COVID-19 virus across the entire county. In line with the current national policy on prevention, we have stepped up action to ensure that public exposure to the virus is minimized as much as possible. In line with this, we wish to clarify as follows. That first, we are enhancing health promotion through public education and awareness. And as you may be aware, we have had sessions with our hotel operators to teach them on what to look out for and what action they need to take should they suspect that some of their clients are suffering or have symptoms that are consistent with COVID-19. We also had sent our people across all the churches on Sunday, and we'll continue that even in other religious gatherings that may happen. But as stated earlier, we wish to discourage even going to church at this particular stage. We also have surveillance on all public and private institutions to ensure that adequate information is available to identify suspects from members of the public, especially when patients or suspected patients have a history. And I think at this stage we wish to say that if you have anybody who has recently visited and returned from any of those countries where the disease has already been identified, then I think it is extremely important that you report so that we can take the necessary action. And on that, we wish also to thank a number of people who have walked in voluntarily and said that they came from India, they came from the UK recently, and we have tested them, and many of them have tested negative, and some are still under test. So again, we want to say that we all have a responsibility in this respect. We also wish to note that the virus has no respect for race. There is a tendency to imagine that only foreigners or people who have foreign-looking description would have it. And we wish to note that that sometimes can lead to racial profiling, where we look at foreigners in a manner that is suspicious, and that may lead to racial profiling. Again, we say that the disease or the virus is no respecter of race, and we are all equally exposed. And let us also remember, we also have our black people in their countries, therefore it's important to balance the equation. We also wish to give a special advisory on all persons to keep off public and social places to reduce exposure. It has been noted that majority of the persons who have been infected, and some of them have already succumbed to it, are ages of 65 and above. And that therefore simply means that if you're taking care of your mother, your grandfather, and all those people who are of that age, then it is important to take extra precaution to reduce exposure and to ensure that they do not come into circumstances that increase their possibility of infection. We also wish to note that as a county, in the unlikely event of escalation in the spread, the county government of Nakuru will enlist services of trained personnel who may wish to volunteer their services to the county. In this respect, we shall conduct training and preparedness drills to such members. And here we have former members of Red Cross, St. John's Ambulance, retired medical personnel, maybe military personnel, and anybody who thinks that they have a role to play. So in the event there was an escalation of this, we will have a list of such persons and we would wish to train them even as we wait for whatever eventuality. But I think it is in our best interest to ensure that we don't just hope for things, we also prepare for any eventuality that might come. In our hospitals, the number of admitted patients naturally draws many family members and friends who come as visitors. And as an example, our provincial general hospital here, sometimes we have as many as 1,500 visitors in a day. And we consider this a high-risk exposure. Consequently, we wish to discourage visiting to our patients to bare minimum. So we don't have to come all as a family, because even if we love people who may be admitted for whatever condition, the reality is that by coming to hospitals and other major gatherings such as hospitals, we are also escalating our exposure to the disease. We also wish to note that in slum and low-income areas, the reality is that we may not have provision of water services to everybody. So even as you say that wash your hands as many times as you want, wash with sanitizer and all that, they may not be available. And therefore, as a county, we wish to supplement the water supply to the slum areas, and we will work together with our administrators and provincial administration to provide tanks and washing points at all vantage points within our slum areas. And this is in line with the advice that they should wash their hands as often as possible to mitigate against that risk. Again, the county emergency response will continuously provide official communication on the status of preparedness as and when the need arises. Unofficial and speculative information can render more harm than good. And you are saying this cognizant of the fact that in the advent of social media and all that, all manner of information will be circulating, but it is in our best interest to control information and ensure that we give only official and verified information. In connection to this, as a county, we are also in the process of training some of our journalists, because when a journalist does not have accurate information, they can render a lot of harm to the larger society. And we also want to respect the patient confidentiality, among other things. So we don't want a suspect's name and family and all that put in the public, because again, it will be against the ethics of good practice. Then lastly, we wish, especially for the urban areas, we wish to encourage online deliveries. There's an emerging trend in the retail sector where instead of you going to buy, they can deliver for you. And I am happy to note in supermarkets like Gilan is here, that service is in existence, where you call, you say what you want, send your money by M-Pesa, and they can deliver. So as a way of also mitigating against risks of going to shopping centers and those sort of congregations, we will be working together with other private players to ensure that online deliveries are encouraged, because that reduces public exposure and that can help us to move forward. I think that's about it from us, but maybe I can invite Dr. to say a word. He is our CC for health and is directly responsible for the preparedness and all the other things that we're trying to do. Dr.
Thank you very much, sir. From our standpoint as a Department of Health in the county government of Thank you very much, sir. From our standpoint as a Department of Health in the County Government of Nakuru, we want to urge the public to know that very easy to manage if we use a public health approach by using those simple techniques that have already been prioritized, like washing your hands, having respiratory or coughing etiquette, or sanitizing your hands, and also avoiding crowded areas. Those are very basic principles, and we want to urge Kenyans to kindly stick to the instructions given at the national level and at the county level. And then on the clinical side, in case we have any escalations, we have put in place as a county government enough measures to take care of either suspects of the disease or people with the disease confirmed or people who have contacts. And we have put mechanisms in every area in this county. And especially on protection of our health personnel and also having isolation facilities. We have trained over 300 staff, both in the public sector and also in the private sector. And we have established isolation beds, both in the public and private sector. As a county also, we've provided PPEs to our facilities. Yesterday, we received over 20,000 NP95 for distribution to our facilities, which we've done today. So generally, we are prepared for this. And I want to insist once again that the best way of doing it is not waiting for clients and treating them. The best way is actually having health promotion and prevention. It is easier, it is less painful, and we shall be able to control this problem very fast. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
vile wamezuia waumini kwenda makanisani. Sijui wewe kama gavana wetu, sijui unawazia nini kuhusiana na hilo?
Okay, Nyayo Gardens, together with Lawn Gardens and any other public places. And maybe the thing to note is the measures we put should be consistent with the risk level. So for now, with no confirmed case in Nakuru and all that, we think that the measures we have put are sufficient at this stage. But as we move forward, depending on the risk factor, we shall upscale the measures, including some more drastic ones if we actually go to that. But with no confirmed case, we also must give a bit of leeway. However, we are also looking at ways of ensuring that if you're going to the market or going to the bus park and such other public places, that we can have a funnel sort of entry where everybody passes through there and we can find a way of sanitizing and so on and so forth. So I think those measures will be worked on together with the other washing points that we have talked about. And one of the areas we'll also be targeting is the public transport operators. Just as much as we have sensitized hotel owners, we also wish to work with the public or matatu transporters so that we can get to the bottom of this matter. So they can also appreciate that they are also players. It's not just a government issue. We all have a role to play in this matter. With respect to the mosque, churches, and all other places, we can deal with that matter from the demand side, which means from worshippers. That means we discourage the worshippers, which is what we have said. When you say avoid social places, I think social places also includes the mosque and the church and so on and so forth. And we're trying to reduce people going there. But again, depending on the circumstances, if there's a need for us to order for the closure of the same, depending on the risk, we shall not hesitate to do that. And I think we will do that based on the risk prevalence and so on and so forth. I forgot what she asked. What did you ask? Yeah, we will sensitize them. And I think also members of the media for the state, that is why you're also here, to ensure that you help us also to talk to the matatu operators and to realize that they have a role to play in this. And I think the reality is there's no single sector that does not have a role. And I think public transport sector, being a critical player in the industry, is very important they work on this. And it's good to note that in some other countries where the circumstances are very different, everything has gotten to a lockdown, even there's no transport. So if you don't mitigate now, you're inviting greater measures that will adversely affect all of us collectively. So before we get there, there's a window of opportunity for us to mitigate. And I think that is all we're asking every citizen and every well-meaning Kenyan to participate in the survival of mankind. Thank you. No, there is a clear procedure on public information, and our security team will take charge of that. We will not allow that to happen. Yeah. Yeah. I think we will make some of those decisions as we move forward. But as you can imagine, we currently are looking at a bill of about 64 million shillings that we require to mitigate against this crisis. If again I send home the people who help us to collect that revenue, we'll soon have no medicine in our hospitals and we may not be able to pay our people. So I think we want to make decisions based on the best interests of the county and the people of Nakuru. So it's not so easy to send all your workers, especially those who are in critical services, in revenue and so on and so forth. And as you can imagine, if this problem continues, even our economy nationally is going to be affected greatly. So I think every stage we will make decisions based on what is in our best interest, but we'll also come up with a minimal contact policy. So those of us who are not in jobs where we need to meet every day, we can encourage that. When you have to meet, make sure that your hands are clean and so on and so forth. But a complete shutdown has consequences, and we would want to get to that stage when you're sure we are there. But we always put measures that are consistent with the magnitude of the problem at that particular stage. Thank you. Asante. Yes. Asante. And you make sure you tell your people, isn't it? Thank you. Yeah. You waambie the people. Come and speak in Kalenjin here. No, serious. Yeah.
Or Kameme.
Yeah, na ya ongea na Kameme. Ongea.
Biik chekase kutit nebo Kalenjin kelenjin in tesetai county government nebo Nakuru en preparation nebo ng'alek chebo miondo nebo COVID-19 ak kemoche kelenjin biik tesetai ak surveillance and across the entire en county nenyon kotugul. Kimwoe kora kele kakeib nabas ak boroindo keib kwa barak boriet nekeyoen boriet nekeyochin miondo nekikuren COVID-19 o kimoche kemwochin biik tugul chebo bororiet kelenjin kobos icheket nabas nekimuche konyorunen mionito kolkol kot missing. Kimoche kemwochin biik kelenjin konetkei icheket koun eunek, konetkei icheket ole kiriptoi ting'oek yon kakilal anan kiryony asikor kinamda biik alak miondo netesetai nguni en emenyon. Kimoche kora kemwochin biikyok kelenjin koyom en ui tugul nemuche komaba icheket koba ole buren biik chechang kot missing amun in yoto ole kimuche keib miondo kong'eten kebeberta agenge akoi age. Kemoche kelenjin kora biik kototinye biik en gaa olon chekibun kebeberwek cheloen kou emotinwek chumbo chumbek cheking'ete mioni chekimi ng'oinotet neo en ng'alekab COVID-19 kemoche kelenjin bikyok kong'et komong icheket ak komwa en sipitali kole kiami uyan kole ako nini miondo notinye nenomegee ak symptoms chebo mioniton. Amoche amwa kora ale kimoche kora kemwoin bikyok kelenjin mo chito nelel inegen anan chito nebirir inegen neibu mioni konyo emoni. Okot biik chetuen chebunu kebeberwek cheterter komuch koib miondo ak kemoche kelenjin biik komat kokere chumba anan ko biik chemoindi anan ko biik chebunu emotinwek alak kole choto ichegen chetinye miondo lakini imuch ot kobu miondo gaa konyolu kerib icheket chebunu kebeberinyon asikenai kele kiburtoi ano. Nebo ang'wan amoche asom bikyok alenji en yemi biik cheyosen chombo kenyisiek 65 akeba tai ongerom kinyumnyum ak kesom icheket kele kobos bonwek chekibendote ak kobos bonwek chebendi ole miten public chechang amun icheket missing chemuche konyor mioni amun en kenyisiekwak ak en ng'alek chebo kirindaetab miondo en borto en inendet en borwekwak. Ko nekisome kelenjin biik chekokoit kenyisiechu komuch koloekitu missing en ole miten kabureito neo missing en ng'alek chebo public chechang. Kimoche kora kele en sipitalisiekchok tugul bikyok chebendote bakokoti biik en sipitali ko malasima en icheket keba biik chechang en sabarit agenge keker chito en sipitali. Kimoche kesom bikyok chebendi kokotisie en sipitali kobosok koba kotuten simachang'a amun kou sipitalinyon nebo PGH ko en betut kocham konyoru biik chebo 1,500 akoi 2,000. Kemoche kebos kenai kele kotimenye iker chi neng'ung nekomioni en sipitali inyon ko inyegen anan kebos kora kepchei kele ngonyo age subui konyo age lanchi konyo age lang'at asikor komakibe biik chechang ketobote en yoto asikenyorun exposure anan kenyoru icheket nyumnyumindo kenyoru mionito neking'ololen nebo COVID-19. En kebeberwek en bikyok ko kakinet kora kele koyom koun eunek en abokora, koun eunek yon kemande, keun eunek yon kemiten okotikee ak biik anan inamonomi tugun chemengen ole kou. Ko nikimoche kora kele en kebeberwek cheng'ering beek kou en kebeberwek cheu slums en areas chemoyome beek biik kemoche kele okot county ninyon nebo Nakuru kemoche kikoin bichuto beek sikounen eut. En sentaisiekyok kou markets en town kemoche kechopchin bichuto beek kora asikor ketoreten biik en ng'alekab bechuto amun tuten beek missing ak kemoche koun biik eut en atkai agetugul. Amoche amwa kora ale ketesetai kekonok ng'alek konamgee ak ng'alek chenomegee ak miondo ngobore itu kebeberwek chekimi amoche kelenjin biik kobwan okweket and ngobore bitu ng'olion nekakikas kemwowo kele mi yu ng'alek asikor okuitosi ako nobendoti ongen ole kibendito ano. Ketesetai kemwoe kounoto ak amoche komakitar amoche amwa ale chitugul ketinye nabas kekirinde mioni komait ole kimi. Oyekas bortang'ung komabaibai, bortang'ung kotinye miondo nemonoto kesome kot missing ing'abalen ole miten biik asikor komeib inyendet miondo kokekuk, komeib miondo kwo kong'wong amun yeib miondo kwo kong'wong koiku kali kanyaet amun yenam biik chechang. Kot ikose ile keiexposengei chito nemonotin irib ng'alek cheu choto. Ko nebo let amoche amwa ng'alek chekotesetai en social media chesire biik ng'alek chemochoto maton keikun echek chesire ng'alek chechang en social media. Kimoe kesir kityo ng'alek chekakeconfamen kele iman. Kou nguni echek komamiten any case nekokeconfamen en Nakuru kele mi miondo, mami miondo nekokenyoru en nenomegee ak the virus en koroni. Biik che kokakimut ko sipitali oeng amut ko kakomong kerichek kele matinye kakomong chikilet kele matinye miondo ko ikochi takeribe chikilet koit kingen kotesetai akichek komie ako matinye miondo age tugul. Kimoche kewai kongoi ak kelei bikyok chebo Nakuru ongetestai eng mieindo eng kalyet ak tolosiet ak keribgei icheket ak kerib chebo chi nebo kokweng'ung eng mioni. Kongoi. Good.
Welcome back. That was the Governor of Nakuru, His Excellency Lee Kinyanjui, briefing the media in Nakuru about the status of COVID-19 within the county. I'm joined here with Patrick Kenyo, who is going to engage me in a discussion about COVID-19. First of all, what do you draw from what the governor has said?
I think it's safe to say that from what we've heard from the governor and the earlier presser that he had given, is that we are still safe as Nakuru. Out of the 3 cases that were suspected, 2 have been confirmed to not have the virus. So I think that's a good thing for Nakuru. And then we have 1 more whose tests results are yet to come, but we are still hoping that the case will be confirmed negative. Over and above, I think it's also good to commend the county government of Nakuru, especially the health department. Since this outbreak, we have seen a very well choreographed response in as far as the county government goes, and all the measures that they've put place are well geared to sort of provide good care in the event that there is a confirmed case. But so far, we can say that we are safe. And from that confirmation, it's actually something that Nakuru residents ought to hear. I'd also want to commend Nakuru TV, because for the first time, I've seen you've aired a Kalenjin sort of script from the Deputy Governor, Dr. Eric Koril, because the essence here is to share much information with the public as much as possible. Yes.
Okay, impressive. Among the highlights of Governor Lee's discussion was the question about avoiding social places.
Yes.
Categorically, he has mentioned that the Lion Garden and the Nyayo Garden in Nakuru will be off limits.
Yes.
He has also asked the members of Nakuru to stay away from worship places, that is mosques and churches.
Well, yes, I think that is because the nature of this virus, according to the World Health Organization, in fact, let me just take you back, the fact that we have COVID-19, the mortality rate, if you look at the mortality rate compared to other viruses like SARS or Ebola, you realize that COVID-19 is between 2 to 3% a mortality rate. But we have Ebola, which has almost 70, sometimes even 90% mortality rate. But what is with this virus is that it spreads very, very fast. Unlike Ebola, you have to have physical contact with a person for you to contract it. But this one is highly contagious, and it is spread even through the air.
Yes.
So that is the biggest challenge that we've had so far. And so the World Health Organization has really recommended for people to observe basic hygiene issues. And basic hygiene issues also means that we have to limit social contact with people. So I think for the county, that was in order for them to just tell people that we need to avoid social places, and actually going and cutting down on Lions Garden and Nyayo Garden, and basically asking the churches to sort of limit their activities and limit the number of times people can go to their places of worship. Because remember, if we have one confirmed person or just a person who has that virus, it spreads very fast in a large group of people. So I think it's in order. And
allow me to cut you short there.
Yes.
The governor has said that we are going to ask members of the public to stay away from social places.
Yes.
The president of the country, Uhuru Kenyatta, earlier today said that on Saturday we should have prayers from the country.
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, I actually read the speech that was released by State House earlier today, and he implored media because he said, in line with the government policy of avoiding meetings and crowded places, they will call specific religious leaders to State House, and then the other party will be the media who will stream this across all televisions, online platforms, and all that, so that Kenyans, wherever they will be, even if they are quarantined at home or maybe they've isolated themselves in their houses, they are able to follow. So I'm waiting to see how that will be pulled off, because remember, if we are talking about religious leaders, we have so many of them. So we that is something I'd be waiting to see how it will be done. But I noted that it was said it will only be open, I think, to the religious leaders and I think members of the press. And he implored them to actually send out crews that can live stream that, so that people can be able now to follow countrywide.
True. I know that you are one of the recipients of the training by the county government on Monday.
Yes.
Where the county government of Nakuru, in conjunction
Yes.
with the Kenya Union of Journalists Nakuru chapter, came up with an idea. Actually, it was the chapter that came up with an idea
Yes.
that the journalists in Nakuru should be trained. A precedence that we also hope that other counties will follow.
True.
Now, there has been a question.
Mm.
What is the difference between a contact case
Yes.
and a confirmed case and a reported case?
Well, and that is where Kenyans, we are all getting lost. And first of all, I would like to thank KUJ Nakuru chapter for coming up with such a noble initiative. Because remember, journalists are the fourth estate. They are actually they are like first responders in some of these cases, okay? So I think it was prudent for the county and the union to come together and forge a way in which local journalists in Nakuru got that particular training. Because remember, COVID-19 is something that just happened. It's not something that has been there. And even if it's been there, most of us really didn't have facts about that. So I'd like to really commend the county government and the medical officers who took their time. By today they had trained up to 30. I'm sure tomorrow there's another cohort of 15 that will be trained. That said, that training was very, very important, because then we got to learn about some of these terms that are being used and they are being thrown around the media, and they are not confusing. So there is confirmed cases, as you said, there's a contact case, and then there's a reported case. So basically what these words mean in the context of COVID-19 is that a confirmed case is what now would say Kenya, we have so far 4 confirmed cases of COVID-19. And then we have reported cases of people who've exhibited symptoms. So we are yet to determine whether they have the COVID-19, but so far they've exhibited symptoms that point to either the virus or something else. But that can only be determined at the point of maybe testing and that particular confirmation. And then we have contact cases, and these are people suspected to have had contact with these people that now are maybe confirmed or suspected to exhibit those symptoms. So that is to say, if Patrick recently traveled from a country that has a very high case of reported COVID-19 cases, and Patrick traveled from that country to Kenya, and the first contact person was the Uber guy who drove Patrick from JKIA to maybe Nakuru, then that is a contact person. So in the event that I'm quarantined for the mandatory 14 days for them to determine as they do the test, then the other team will be doing follow-ups, looking for the people that I've interacted with since I came to Kenya. So that makes it easy. In the event that I am confirmed to have COVID-19, then all the people that I've had contact with since I came back are easy now to trace and actually be brought to the fore and actually quarantined and tested.
Okay.
Yes.
Impressive. Then the next thing of discussion, lockdown.
Yes.
The governor has mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
There are countries that are on complete lockdown.
True.
Italy, to mention but a few.
Yes.
Do you think that Kenya will get to a point that where Italy is right now? Do you think? God forbid. Or
God forbid. But yes, it is a possibility. It is a possibility because remember, so far we have 4 cases. And looking at Italy and the chain of events that led to the lockdown that is in Italy as we speak, is because maybe they treated some of their cases casually at the beginning. Okay? So there were reported cases and maybe no action was taken, or rather they took action, but it was slow in terms of implementation. And I remember even today when the Cabinet Secretary for Health, Mutahi Kagwe, was giving a brief, he said that that will be an option depending on the next few days, depending on the number of confirmed cases, they might result to a total lockdown. Okay? Remember, imploring people that had recently traveled to Kenya to self-quarantine. But today he was very adamant, and he actually said that it is not a request at this point. If you know you've come from a different country and you're in Kenya now, it is an obligation. It's more or less like a criminal offense if you're asked to be quarantined and you refuse. So you can sense there's a tougher sort of control that is now coming, and he actually mentioned and said it will not be, it is on the table. The option for going for a total lockdown, it is on the table. Yes.
Well, we'll wait and see, and also pray that maybe we don't get to those levels.
Sure.
The next thing was personal hygiene.
Yes.
There was during the discussion about personal hygiene.
Yes.
I remember there was talk about cleaning hands.
Yes.
And we've seen it especially in most places here
Yes.
in Nakuru.
Yes.
Chemists are having places where people can clean their hands.
Yes.
Hotels,
Mm.
okay, bus stations, matatu points,
Mhm.
and other places.
Yes.
Now, there was concern coming into this week about the amount or the availability of hand sanitizers.
Yes.
And you being a recipient of the training that was there on Monday, tell us about cleaning hands.
Now, as I said earlier, COVID-19 is a virus that is spread, can really spread very fast, and it spreads through, contact, coming into contact with an infected person, and then you touch them, and then you touch either your eyes or nose. That is the most common way. So the World Health Organization has come up with a raft of measures that actually address preventive. Remember, this is preventive.
Yes.
At the preventive stage, you need to observe basic hygiene. I'm going to read just a few tips on how you can protect yourself so that at least this information goes out there. So one of them is that you should wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, or boiled and cooled water, using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Okay, so we will get back to that. But remember, the key points here is running water or boiled and cooled water using an alcohol-based sanitizer. Then the other point is you cough or sneeze into a disposable tissue.
Okay.
So in this case, it is recommended, highly recommended, that you don't use a handkerchief. In fact, that is also something that people need to learn. You should not be using a handkerchief at this point. Get disposable tissues where you can, or something that you can use once and dump. The other thing is to maintain a distance of at least 2 meters. The World Health Organization recommends a distance of 2 meters. So we're actually in violation going by the way we are now, but then it's also understood. But it's a 2-meter distance from between yourself and anyone who is coughing or sneezing. Okay. The other part is avoid shaking hands, hugging or kissing people with flu-like symptoms. And then the other recommendation is that you stay at home and avoid traveling when you have flu-like symptoms. So persons with cough or sneezing should stay at home or keep a social distance and avoid mixing with others in a crowd. And this is why now the aspect of lockdown is actually coming in. Because if the government tells people you should probably think about working from home, and people probably for one reason or another are not able to, and when push comes to shove, this is the approach they will use. Now they will push probably the entire country into a lockdown. so that they keep a social distance and avoid mixing with others in a crowd setting or that. So the other part is maintain good respiratory hygiene by covering your mouth and nose while coughing and sneezing with on a tissue or into a flexed elbow. A flexed elbow means you use this part of your arm.
Okay.
So if you don't have an handkerchief, as most men probably don't have, you just go like this and then you sneeze into this part. So this mitigates against throwing those germs into the surrounding areas, so that when you do this, it's you alone. Okay, so you protect the people around you. So on to our first point, washing hands regularly. And remember, this is something we've always been told since we are young. You need to wash hands. Instances where you need to be washing your hands. This is something that has been going on. But it's only now that we are realizing, so washing hands can actually really work. And remember, this is something that each and every country, they've now recommended that the first thing you do against protecting yourself against COVID-19 is that you make sure you wash your hands each and every time. And there's a procedure for washing hands. Not the you'd see some people just washing their hands like this. You need to apply your hand sanitizer or soap, because now this is where the contention is, and I think that's my next point. So washing your hands, you'll do it for about 20 to 60 seconds. So whether you're using a soap, whether you're using a hand sanitizer, whether you're using a homemade sanitizer, and that is something we will talk about, make sure you wash each and every part of your hands. Yeah, this part, I'm not sure, is it the wrist? This part all the way to the wrist.
Yes.
Yeah, this is what you need to look at. And remember, using running water. And the reason why I'm really focusing on running water is when you're washing your hands, assuming probably you have those germs in your hands.
Okay.
When you're using running water, you're making sure that as you wash, those germs they are washed off your hands, as opposed to wash in a sink maybe, so it's recycling and reinfecting your hands. So there is need for people to really adhere by that, and it doesn't have to come from a tap. You can even use a normal jug, so that
Provided it's running.
provided it's running.
Okay.
So you wash your hands, and then the technique is you make sure that you rub soap all over your hands, all the way to the wrist, all the way to this point, and then you you divide in between the fingers, in your nails, under your nails.
Actually, there was a discussion about nails.
Yes.
That it is advisable right
Yes.
now that individuals to have short or no nails.
Actually, that is another recommendation, because the virus in its very nature is very microscopic, and it has a tendency of even hiding under the nails. And remember, this is a virus that can stay on the surface of your arm or hand, or basically your skin,
Yes.
for quite some time. So
72 hours.
72
right?
hours. 72 hours is 3 days.
Yeah.
So waiting, and remember, an average human being on a daily basis will touch their faces for 2,000 to 3,000 times subconsciously. That is a fact I learned. So it is highly recommended that you wash your hands each and every time. And when washing, now this is where basic hygiene comes in. You need to shorten your nails, cut them to size, so that when you're washing your hands, you make sure that each and every surface of your hands is washed. Now, the other thing is, when these cases now became rampant, you realize that across all our supermarkets, our shops, there's reported cases of people not having hand sanitizers. Remember, the hand sanitizer, you should only use it probably when you don't have access to running water. That is also something people don't really understand.
Okay, it's a misconception.
It's a misconception, and it's also because people don't have information. Okay, so everybody is comparing for whatever information they get, and then using that information without having all the facts. So the basic way of protecting yourself is actually having a soap, the normal soap, the Kipande soap.
Yeah.
It could be any soap. It could be Meningal, Panga, all those brands of soap. So as you use it, you wash your hands 20 to 60 seconds on using running water.
Okay.
That is very, very important. But in the event you don't have access probably to running water, that is when now they are recommending for you to use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer that you can use without water, so that you sanitize your hands every now and then. So you make sure you don't get to touch your face probably when you've interacted with a group of people, you sanitize your hands. Remember, this is something that if every individual did that, imagine how safe we would be, because it is a personal initiative for each and every Kenyan to make sure that they wash their hands. In an hour, wash your hands 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and everybody does that. So in the event you don't have water, you use alcohol-based sanitizers to just rub your hands and make sure you're clean of the virus.
Okay.
Yes. And now the other thing, of course, with the reported cases of either people holding stocks for these hand sanitizers because they've become the new gold. Everybody is carrying to try and get a few bottles for use for their families. There's also a solution that I really need to tell people. You don't have to really go and get those hand sanitizers in the supermarket. You can create your own home-based sanitizer that could work the same way these hand sanitizers work. So I will be demonstrating how to do it, because it is very, very important, because you are using available materials, and you will ensure that you are safe, whether it's in your office, whether it's in your home, whether it's in church. These are some things we could tengeneza locally so that people can really understand. And I think if you allow me, we can go ahead and demonstrate.
We can do a demo.
Yes.
Viewers, I think you'll pay attention to Patrick as he demonstrates on how best it is to manufacture your own hand sanitizer. Okay, and
Yes.
as he has mentioned, we are going to use available resources at home. This is something that you can do at the comfort of your home, using the readily available resources.
Yes.
Don't go scampering for their sanitizers in the markets and in the supermarkets.
Yes.
Okay, so show us.
So we said this is in the event you don't get to buy, or for some reason or the other you don't get the alcohol-based hand sanitizers in the supermarkets that are locally available. So there's another solution to coming up with your own home-based sanitizer. So what you use is sodium hypochlorite.
Sodium hypochlorite.
Yes.
For those who are listening, ingredient number 1, sodium hypochlorite.
So
What is sodium hypochlorite in layman language?
So in layman's language, sodium hypochlorite is an active ingredient that is mostly contained in detergents, surfactants. They are called ionic surfactants. But then I will not go into the technical details, but this is probably jig, Topex. These are things people can access in supermarket. Bleaching agents.
Okay.
So sodium hypochlorite is the active ingredient in bleaching agents.
Okay.
So what you do, go to the shop, pick whatever bleaching agent you prefer. Make sure that it has a 5% potency, because it's normally in the label. It is written in the label that we get the one that has 5%.
Okay.
So what you do with that, it could be jig, it could be Topex, whichever.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you get that, and you want to make a solution for 1 liter, you will demonstrate with 1 liter.
1 liter.
Yeah, 1 liter.
Okay.
So you use 1 part of the sodium hypochlorite, or rather jig, and you mix with 9 parts of the carbon water. Could be tap water, whichever.
Okay.
You mix that together. It gives you a solution that has 0.5, because now it's diluted. Remember, sodium hypochlorite, the way it is, it's very, It's very concentrated. So you need to sort of mix it with water to make sure you have the safe levels that you can use to now sterilize your hands and surfaces and every other
In
thing.
the house, in the office.
It could be anywhere.
Okay.
So once you make sure that you have the right ingredient, and remember we are making a 1 liter solution for use in our office here
Okay.
for the guests who are coming in and all of us to keep washing our hands throughout the day.
Okay.
So this is around, we would say we just use 100 ml. It's 200 ml, but then we use 100 ml of that particular liquid. Or maybe for demonstration purposes, because the ratio is 1 to 9. So you make sure if you have a full glass of the sodium hypochlorite, which is what we are going to mix in our urn, then the other part you will fill with 9
Nine of
glasses
Okay.
to make a 0.5 solution, concentration solution for use as a home-based sanitizer.
So if I'm getting this straight, our viewers
Yes.
will use 1 part.
1 part.
If it is 1 cup
Yes,
of this
Mhm.
versus 9 cups of water
exactly.
to create a home-based sanitizer.
Sanitizer that is now 1 liter.
Okay.
So, and it is not totally limited to 1 liter.
Uh-huh.
In a bigger setting, maybe someone is going to create a solution of 10 liters. So, in the event it's 10 liters, then you will use a liter of this added in to 9 liters of water.
Okay.
Okay? So,
Bigger gatherings.
yeah, for bigger gatherings,
Okay.
because I assume in a house of worship where we have 50 to 100 members,
Okay.
you will need more solutions of this for continuous use by the members of the church.
Okay.
So we are going right ahead to add 9 parts of water into our solution and to effectively create a 1 liter home-based sanitizer. So that's 1. That's 2.
3.
3. 4.
For those who are joining us right now, we are joined by one Patrick Kenyo, and he's trying to show us how you can create your own home-based sanitizer. You don't have to rush to you don't have to rush to supermarkets to get this. You can create this using your own ingredients back at home. And as he had mentioned, you use 1 part of any bleaching agent. It could be from the company of Jik, Topex, and any other company.
And they need to make sure that it has a 5%. It is actually labeled. The content should be 5% sodium hypochlorite.
Yeah, 5%
As the ingredient.
on the tag.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's
So you put 1 of this versus 9
9 parts of
components
water.
of water
Yes.
to create
A 1
a
liter
1 liter
solution.
solution.
Yeah, but then remember, this is just for a demonstration.
Oh.
If you need 100 liters, then the formula remains the same. 1 part of this,
Versus
9 parts of this.
Okay.
So this is our 9th glass of water. So what we have right here is a solution that is a home-based
Sanitizer.
sanitizer that you will use for between 8 to 12 hours, and it's as good as all those sanitizers you guys are chasing in the supermarket. But then there's also another kick. So because we're using it mostly to wash our hands, and remember, sodium hypochlorite is very, very corrosive in nature,
Okay.
despite the fact that we've added water. So it's a process in chemistry they call denaturing, I think. I'm not very sure. But then you could add glycerin. But this is purely up to you. If you have it, the better. If you don't add it. So the reason for adding this is so that it sort of gives you a smooth fun after you've cleaned your hands. And remember, once you clean your hands again, and we are going to also demonstrate the washing it. So you add a few milliliters of this into that solution. It could be any form of glycerin, but you just add like that.
Okay.
And then what you have here, you need to cover it for it to remain active. So you cover, you will use it for between 8 to 12 hours.
So it is one thing to create, it is another thing that you have to cover it
Yes.
for effectiveness.
Yes, you have to cover it for effectiveness, because all these components that are contained here, some of them are very potent.
Okay.
So if you leave it, they will actually react with the atmosphere, with the gases in the atmosphere, and actually the effectiveness of that solution
Okay.
will not be as what you had originally intended.
Okay.
But once you have this,
Uh-huh.
remember, this is something you get for between 50 to 150 in the supermarkets or in your shops. Water is readily available. And remember, in the speech, the governor said they are going to even employ some of these water companies so that they continually provide water to residents, because water is the most critical part in us safeguarding ourselves against COVID-19. So this solution over here will help you. It will help each and every person, so we don't have to scramble for hand sanitizers and go crying that we didn't find them in supermarkets. This is an easy fix, and this is just one of the many homemade options that people have. This is what we prefer, but we have other people who are using surgical spirits. So you use surgical spirit with glycerin, and you're able now to just get your hand sanitizer. But now this is for youth. For you can even pack in small packs for people to just go and apply as they go along. So that works as the alcohol-based sanitizer. But this when you need to wash your hands, this is what you use. And make sure that when you wash your hands, make sure you can get that over here, so that we can also demonstrate the washing of the hands.
Why don't we do the demonstration this side so that they can also see?
Let me see.
For those who are joining us right now, it's a special edition by Nakuru TV, where we've been discussing COVID-19 that continues to affect most countries around the world. Earlier today, we had a briefing by the County Governor of Nakuru, Honorable Lee Henry, where he informed the members of the public and the members of Nakuru about the need and how much the county government of Nakuru is doing in trying to deal with the problem of the COVID-19.
Yes.
On stage today, we have Patrick Kenyo, who is one of the recipients of the training that the county government of Nakuru conducted on various journalists around Nakuru town on how to report and how they themselves can also protect themselves from the virus of COVID-19. For the few minutes that we've been here, he has helped us to know on how you can create your own home-based sanitizer using available resources in the form of the bleaching agent and normal water, where we've put 1 part of the bleaching agent versus 9 parts of water, and we have been able to create our own home-based
solution. So remember, we said that once you have this solution ready, it should be used between 8 to 12 hours, especially in a setting where you really want to be sure. Remember, this training was conducted for journalists, and journalists are actually one of the first respondents in the event that there is a confirmed case, because they are the ones who are actually in the front line. If there is a confirmed case, then they want to also go and document that story. So this is why it was very, very important for us to actually learn some of these skills, so that we can apply them as we go along and actually share them with our audiences. Because how business works, or rather the law of demand and supply, is such that if there's a high demand for something, then the supply becomes shrinked. And because everyone is in a panic mode, then you don't need to panic anymore. If you can get it could be anything. It could be Jake, it could be Topex, whatever. Just get it, make sure it has a 5% concentration of sodium hypochlorite. Mix it with water as we have shown you. 1 part of that and 9 parts of water. You can add some glycerin. And then once you do that, then I also want to demonstrate how you do it. Okay? So when you're washing your hands, you first of all wet your palms. Okay? Once once you've done the wetting part, so you make sure that you scribble your hands like this
I'll
for
do it with you.
for some minutes. Make sure you wash these parts of your hands and these sections between your fingers,
In between the
fingers. Make sure for both hands, all the way up to the wrist part. Okay? This is the way of protecting yourself against this virus. So make sure you wash your hands kabisa under your nails, and then you use this solution for some seconds to make sure that what you've rubbed actually goes down the drain as you rinse your hands. It's a process that can take you between 20 seconds like that. And then once you're done, it is highly advisable that you take a disposable tissue that you can use to dry your hands. Okay? So it could be just a normal tissue, but the most preferable one are the disposables, because after use, you need to throw it away. You need to throw it away. Make sure your hands are really dried, and when you wash your hands, you'll actually feel that there's that smooth and tender feel to your hands. So that is to the glycerin. So that makes sure that your skin is well moistured and you don't suffer from the effects of the sodium hypochlorite. So once you're done with that, you dump this, and then keep repeating this over and over again. Keep repeating it in your houses, in your offices, everywhere you go. That is the surest way to protect yourself against the virus. And remember, you don't touch your face, don't touch your eyes, don't touch your nose. Make sure you minimize contact with your hands with the other parts of the body, especially on the face. That is the most sure way of preventing yourself. And if all of us actually go ahead and do this, all of us as Kenyans, we will minimize cases of infection by a very large margin. So that on the preventive side, if we are able to, all of us, take initiative and actually implement some of these small solutions, because remember, washing your hands is just a basic hygiene issue. It doesn't have to be about the virus. And one thing I was also thinking is that once we are done, because we are going to overcome this virus, we are going to overcome it, then whatever we've discussed and whatever we've started doing, let it be our culture. Let it be our culture, because on the preventive side, most of these things on the preventive side, if you're able to curb them, then in our hospitals, we will actually relieve a lot of pressure from our hospitals for those people who go to seek curative services. So that everyone of us has a duty to play to ensure that the community is safe, we are all practicing basic hygiene, and that each and every person takes responsibility for their health. The coronavirus. Yes.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a special edition here at Nakuru TV where we've been discussing COVID-19. We had earlier today, we had a presser by the governor of Nakuru, Lee Kienji, who informed us of and gave us an update of what is happening around the county and the mitigation measures that the county is taking in an attempt in dealing with the virus. We've had a guest today, Patrick Kenyo, who has also shared a few information about the virus. He has also gone ahead and given us a demonstration on how you can create your own sanitizers back at home using readily available sources. Until next time, I've been your host, Karanja Jackson. Thank you.
My name is Engineer Abe Rotich. I'm a member of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. I pursued a degree in mechanical engineering at the University of Nairobi, where I obtained honors. I later studied Masters in Business Administration at Kenyatta University. In between, I've done various courses, one of which is Senior Advanced Management course at the School of Business at Strathmore University. I'm currently working as a Geothermal Development Director at Kenya Electricity Generating Company. I'm vying for the position of first Vice President at IEK. I believe I'm suitable for this position since I possess a long history of experience on leadership and having served as a former branch chairman of IEK at Mombasa branch. I intend to do a number of things if elected in this position of first Vice President of IEK. The first one is to ensure I pursue mentorship and coaching for our student engineers. And my second agenda is to ensure that we have the engineering institution partner with business people and industrialists in allocating 40% to local content for our people and also 30% for special groups. My third agenda is global visibility. The agenda of Institution of Engineers of Kenya can only be enhanced if we are visible globally. My fourth and last agenda is I would likely pursue structured trainings for our engineers and technologists. This is achievable by ensuring we sign memorandum of understanding, collaboration, and partnership with industrialists, consulting firms, institutions, and various government companies. And I believe if we pursue that way, we can easily achieve 100% trainings for our engineers and promote them into professional engineers. On 23rd of March 2020, I humbly request you, all distinguished engineers, to vote in large numbers. Vote for Engineer Abel Rotich. Voting for Engineer Abel Rotich is voting for success. As engineers, we can do more. Thank you.